A tower is like a wall put up to confine emotions, thoughts, and the flow of life. What is soft and tender is perceived to be frail. When the tower is struck down, all events that created it are ready to fall. In other words, an opportunity to rewrite the story into a happy ending. I feel like this little component of this little passage is really speaking to the fact that you get to constantly grow and reinvent. You get to constantly grow and reinvent who you are. Not in a sense that you kind of do, but okay, so I'm gonna follow through on my thoughts. I'm just like running, my thoughts are running faster than what I'm putting out, so let's follow through on it. So it's not just you're reinventing yourself, it's not that you're completely coming anew. It's a sense that you're acknowledging what you have created, who you were, completely taking responsibility for that, for what you have put out and what you have been living in, and putting into and transforming into one that you can take a little bit more pride in, a little bit more pleasure in. Because there's a responsibility in how we show up in our life. There's a level of responsibility to it. I know this is not going to resonate for all, but there is a level of responsibility in who you are, in the role that you play in your community, in your family, even within yourself, the role that you play. You begin to eventually see that either you get to continue playing that role or you get to dictate, this is the role I want to play now. You know what? I understand that this is the role I took. I'm happy I did. I learned a lot from it. Now I am ready to play another role. And beginning to see yourself playing different roles, having different experiences adds value to your soul, because your soul takes these information, these lessons, and it adds it to everything that it has already previously learned, and it passes it on to other souls. And sometimes it's not just an experience that you learn for yourself, but it's something that you also learn for your ancestors or even your future generation, right? It's not all beings have the capacity to learn all lessons or learn the lessons. So it's that sometimes you might be the wisest one, or the not necessarily the wisest one, but you pretty much just have the capacity to go through that journey. And so it's like you take that responsibility of experiencing it, which then also frees that karma, that connection, that lesson, and you get to create something new, something else, something different. Yeah, I'm trying to see where I'm being guided to. It's a little bit. It's not that it's pixelated. It's just still downloading through. So it's taking some time to compute. Um, I know that there's many people that do say this, and I'm gonna be one of those people as well that's saying this as well, which is that you get to write your own story, that you get to experience happiness and heaven on earth. It's a bit of a, it's like it's real and you're like, I kind of don't want to hear it just because, sure, but it's not believable. Um, like there is a level of actively putting in the energy and the effort into experiencing happiness, to experiencing pleasure. One thing I speak about a bit of my story is when I initially started going on this journey for majority of my life, maybe in the last like 6 years, is when I started experiencing different things, something other than pain. Maybe even in the last like year or two, is when I really only started. Well, when I sorry, so it's in the past like year or two that I started really experiencing pleasure and happiness. So it's more of like a fluid experience of my day to day life and really enjoying being alive and creating life. And prior to that, it was constantly a struggle for me to experience happiness. It's constantly physical pain, chronic pain, experiencing depression, varying levels of it, and my self-esteem was pretty much garbage. So getting to this place, when I initially started this work, I had no idea what to do and how I was going to get here. It's like I knew it was possible, but at the same time, I still couldn't conceptualize it. And um, it took me roughly 4 years to get to this place. But that's the thing. It was 4 years of navigating through roughly 30 years of my whole life. 30, no, pretty much 30 years of my life. And, um, seeing where I went dormant, seeing where I went passive, and learning how to be an active participant in my life and not just have, life just happen to me and not just roll over and really step into like and roll over and have life just be the way it is and be accepting of the way things are turning out. Stepping into life in a way that, well, learning how to step into life and be an active participant and say that, you know what, I'm not going to be passive here, that I am going to be playing. I want to play and I want to do this. I want to have this experience. So what do you need me to do? And all that was being shown in the past 4 years was how to pretty much was being shown the stuff that I didn't allow myself to feel. And because of that, it caused a lot of pain. And undoing that and implementing the contrast of the discomfort, so implementing pleasure into my day today and allowing myself to have certain experiences and allowing myself to share these experiences that I'm having and just knowing that it doesn't have to stay where it is, but it can move. And this also meant understanding where I was trying new things, doing things differently, and being okay to say that, you know what, I'm thought this would be something I wanted to do or that I had to do to break up the rhythm, but I really don't want to. Like, it feels really uneasy, unpleasant, and I feel like that it isn't going to be supportive in any way. And so navigating through experiences that just I thought that would help my transformation and help me get into a place where I want to be, realizing and knowing that, you know what, even the taking responsibility for the choices that I made and saying, you know what, it actually kind of isn't ideal, and learning to listen more. And it made me a better listener. It did make me a better listener, like to be able to hear other people, but really more than me hearing others, it was a way for me to hear myself. And for me to even feel that others can hear me, I had to hear myself. To bring it back to this concept of the tower and rewriting your story, the story is can only be written. Well, the story is written in a symphony. If it's meant to be a mumble jumble and that's what your intention is in this lifetime, then do exactly that. But if it's something that you want to sound pleasurable and peaceful, to be harmonious, then actually listen and know when to adjust. Have the capacity and the courage to listen to when something is not in resonance and to be like, okay, I'm going to change it, or, become the master of your life. Become a master composer of your life. And the more you begin to step into this role of composing your life, the less you're gonna have people putting their hands into your space. And the whole concept of evil eye and all of that, it's not gonna even affect you in any way because it has no value. It's just your attention is completely in a different place where you'll have the capacity to be in places of chaos and still experience pleasure and happiness. And that happiness can neutralize the energies around you. So allow yourself to neutralize and to teach others and yourself how to live harmoniously. Have the courage to rewrite your life, no matter how old you are. And I know, like, as much as I'm saying this to you, I'm also saying this for myself, because I find myself saying, well, I'm as old as I am, and now I'm going through this, or now I'm having this experience. Why now? There is a level of shame in it when I talk to myself like that. Um, at the same time, it's an aspect of me that says it's okay. It's okay that this is where I am. You know what? I'm actually happy I am here because I'm happy at this point in my life I'm actually changing something, because I'm just in such gratitude that I get to have it now. That I didn't wait till I'm dead and have it after death, but I can have it now in this life. That I had the courage to experience the story that I wanted to experience, even though it was uncomfortable, whether it being pleasure or pain, whatever flow that I'm taken through, to have the courage to experience this new discomfort, this newness. Sorry, and to not also just like wait for the timing to be right, but be to live it, to have it, to experience it. Okay, so I just checked in with myself to see if there is anything else to say to this, and there apparently is, so I'm just gonna let that come through. Um, oh, there's this little part that I wrote. What is soft and tender is perceived to be frail. That little concept of what is gentle, like the archetype of the little girl. Let's actually go with this little story here. There was one story of the concept of Kumari, which means young virgin girl. Um, she, so this was a concept of the goddess in her young form, where she wanted to interact with this king, this prince. No, I believe it was a king. The thing is, this king eventually, so I'm gonna be like skipping through a few little things. Don't remember the story word for word, but I'm just gonna go with it. Um, and so this king ended up eventually looking at this girl, this young girl, in the form of goddess, looking at this young girl with lust. Something that she told him was like, I will play with you as long as you look at me as a young girl. The moment there is lust, I will leave. And that is exactly what she did. And so, where I'm getting at with this is there is, we do this in the way we are. So, one, it's like we might get uncomfortable with aspects of you that is soft and tender and could seem helpless and frail. But in actuality, it's far more stronger than that. It's just that this aspect of you chooses to be this way, and there is a level of strength involved in it. There's other versions of you, other components of you that are the opposite contrast of this softness, and has the capacity to protect you in whatever form that it needs to ensure that you are powerful and that you are protected and that soft tenderness can exist. Um, and the thing is, it's through the way that we perceive and the energy that we direct towards something. You can perceive, you can see someone or something, it can be just a partner or a friend, just want to play with them. You just want to hang out, chill, enjoy a nice meal together. Or you can choose to pick at them and um, cause a fight, some type of a fight. And nothing is, it's not that it's like good or bad. It's just that acknowledging and meeting someone, meeting yourself even, the way that you do want to be met in that moment. And the thing is, we do articulate it. Just sometimes we don't even respect ourselves and respect what we are articulating, and because we haven't practiced enough how to hear it. So it's a level of practice in saying, you know what, this is my boundaries, this is where I am, this is my soft space. If you do want to be in this space, there is a level of respect, and um, anything other than go do it outside of the space, because in this space, this is how we're playing, this is how we're going to be navigating through this moment. And the thing is, we say this even within ourselves, and we also say this with the people around us too. Now, why am I bringing this up? And bringing this up is because, in what way have you pretty much, can't say defiled, but it's like, in what way have you disrespected and dishonored yourself? And how can you bring back some level of peace, some level of reverence, and pretty much respect and honor that you don't push your boundaries? The more you get to build this relationship with yourself and to strengthen what has been weakened within you, it becomes easier for you to shift the relationships you have with the people external to you. So and you can use the relationships external to you to reflect back to you the way you have been treating yourself and the way you have been honoring and dishonoring the soft parts of you. And you can even call upon certain archetypes to help support you in building, rebuilding yourself, rebuilding your own story, and building this harmony within you. Because when you're strengthening yourself, and it's like a way of you are re-strengthening your foundation that you have, which then anything that comes trying to attack your own grounds, it's not gonna fall. You're not gonna be left vulnerable. You are protected because you understand how to build a stronger home, and a stronger connection and force to source, to this light, this love. And it's a way of strengthening your physical form and becoming aligned and having the capacity to. So, with having a fortress, you begin to have the capacity to settle into your physical body and be there and be present and be alive. And You understand that no matter who comes in, not necessarily no matter, but it's like whoever comes in, you have the capacity to cleanse, to change, to shift, to play, and create something else, and alchemize what comes through. And you know that whatever you're alchemizing, whatever you're changing, whatever you're navigating through, you become that much more stronger, which then allows you to be a house for others and also a home for yourself. You have the capacity to become a home. And wherever you go, whatever you experience, you are in this home. Alright, so I am going to leave a message here, and I wish you guys so much love and so much tenderness, and I'll speak to you guys soon.